Molly, come! You want to be in the video?
Today we're going to show you how we built our beautiful cob oven.
Keep watching!
Yep, yep!
Hello and welcome to our channel!
To our channel, guys, hi!
Today is crazy windy, so bear with us. This is what we have. We would like to say a huge thank you. We have a new patron. His name is Joao.
Thanks, Joao.
Welcome to our patron family, and we also have some really nice subscribers. We've been getting really nice messages from them, and we also received a nice present in our PayPal account. So thank you very much, Brett and Beck from Wales.
Yep.
And we also want to mention someone else who has been watching.
Our #1 fan.
Yeah, I
much.
think she's our #1 fan. She's also our patron, but she's been watching every single video, commenting on every single video. Yeah, so thank you so much for the support, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you very much. This week we also hit 3,000 subscribers. This is amazing. We can't believe it, actually. We have this deal, this target, and we already mentioned this in a video, one of our past videos.
Our first video, when
our
we
first
took over
video on the
Molly's
channel. And we said when we hit 5,000 subscribers, we are going to get goats.
Man.
Yeah. Now things have happened a little bit different, and we got offered a goat, a little baby boy kid.
From the YouTube channel from Tete Pipa.
Yes, and we're so happy. We're obviously taking him, and we should be getting him at the end of February. So now our target has become a deadline, because we still want 5,000 subscribers by the time we get goats. We just need a little help now.
Yeah, we're already getting ready, so I've already bought some timber to build the goat shed. We're just waiting, actually today, in fact we waited to film today's video because it said it was going to be a bit of blue skies, but we didn't think it was going to be windy. So anyway, but it's been rainy, so I've got the timber to build the goat shed, but I'm waiting for the weather to settle a bit so I can work not in the rain.
Yeah. But now, I know you might say, okay, we have 3,000 subscribers, we need another 2,000 in a month. And that might seem crazy, but
Can be done.
It can be done, and my motto is, when a dream is too big, you don't stop dreaming it, you ask for help. So if anyone knows of anyone who will be interested in our channel, just refer us to them.
Share the love, guys.
Yes, share the love. So yeah, over to Luke. He's going to explain more about how he built the cob oven.
Yeah, well, we built it.
Yes, but the tiniest help from me, and most of it was his work. So over
Right,
to
okay,
Luke.
go back up. Okay, so one of the first things you need to do is figure out where you're going to put it. And also, when you move onto a piece of land like we did, where there was absolutely nothing, you'll find that there's not enough cover to keep many things out of the rain. So I thought of doing it where I can put the firewood underneath. So at least we have a place to store the wood that we would use to cook in it. When I decided to build one, I watched an infinite number of videos on how to do it and all the different styles and everything. And many of them have where the base is a solid thing and you fill it full of glass just so it's all insulated, but I don't think there's really any need, because the walls of the oven are only 6 inches thick. So having more than that over here is pretty pointless, really. So we decided to build it on these granite boulder, which was Sarah's idea. Oh yeah! So this boulder was here, and so was this one. And then I just built up the sides, and I chose boulders that had this leach-in on it, just so eventually it would be all green and Hobbit-like. So yeah, all I did was I bought some concrete beams, they call them vigas here, and I put them across, leveled it all out. Then I put cinder blocks to create a flat surface and filled in any gaps so it was a nice level flat surface. And then I covered the whole thing with fire bricks. I used approximately 90 fire bricks, and just laid them all out nice and level with sand underneath, just so it's nice and level. Now, one of the most important things when you're designing your oven is the ratios of certain dimensions. So I wanted, the main oven is 1 meter diameter. So it's a circle that's a meter diameter. Now you might think that's huge, but once you've got the fire in there to cook pizza, it takes up a lot of the space. So really I can cook 2 to 3 pizzas at one time in here. Now to cook pizza you need the temperature to be between 420 and 550 degrees Celsius. So we're talking very, very high temperatures. So once you decide how big you want the bottom of the oven, so mine is 1 meter, the height of the inside of the oven is dictated by the size of the diameter. So if the diameter is 1 meter, you have to do it 75% of that is the height. So the height on the inside is 75 centimeters high. Now the door has to be 63% of the height of the inside of the oven. So that's 75 centimeters, and this is 62% of that, which is about 40 something centimeters, 43 or something. Now that's very important, so you get the draw through it, so you get the air and it burns sufficiently with enough air. If you don't, you'll have problems. Now, as I said, I watched loads and loads of videos on how to build these, and there's many variations, obviously. So I ended up following the video of this channel called The Townsends, which is a channel dedicated to 18th century living, including cooking and lifestyle, clothes. He has some really cool old recipes that aren't made anymore. It's really a cool channel, so you can check it out. We'll put a link in the description below. So I basically copied his way of making it, but I saw so many with chimneys that I decided to put in a chimney, which then I ended up filling in because it wasn't getting hot enough for pizza. So first thing you need to do, like I said, is get your surface, get your bricks down, all nice and level, and then you want to draw out a circle of the base, the diameter, which mine was 1 meter, and then you want to draw 2 more circles, which are 3 inches longer than the diameter. So you've got your inside, then 3 inches for the first layer of cob, and then another 3 inches for the second layer of cob. Once you've done that, you can start piling on a bunch of wet sand. Now you have to be sure that it's wet so it keeps its form, and just build out that dome so you can lay the cob on top of it. You want to cover it with wet newspaper just so you can dig out the sand once it dries, so it all stays there and it comes out easily. So once you've done your dome, which is really fun to do. It's like, I mean, who doesn't like building sandcastles as kids, you know? This is one massive one. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to mix your cob. Now the first layer of cob is without straw, because if you put straw, it will burn. So you mix, shut up Pip! So you mix 2 parts of sand with 1 part of clay, lay it out onto a tarp, and just go ahead and dance about in it. Get as many people as you can to do it, will make everything much easier. And then once it's all together, and you want it to keep its shape, and just pick up balls of it and call them loaves, and just make sure that it stays together but it's soft. And a good test is if you drop it on the floor from about this high, it doesn't fall into separate pieces. It keeps its shape. Kind of changes its shape slightly, but it stays in one piece basically. And then you'll just get loaves, so balls of cob like that, and just start from the bottom and just lay them on top till you cover the whole thing. Now you want to leave that to dry overnight, not completely, but still leave it to dry enough, like 1 day is pretty much enough. And then you don't want to smooth it off, because otherwise the next layer of cob won't stick to it. So then you make the cob again, and then you cut up some pieces of straw. Now the straw is what gives it its strength and insulating properties. It really just binds, it's a binder, it keeps it all together, and when it does go hard after a month, it's just super hard. So what you want to do is chop up some pieces of straw, chop them nice and small, and mix them into the cob about 4 to 1 to the clay. And then just cover it all up again. Once you've covered it all up, and then you're going to have to wait for it to dry. Now I waited for about 3 or 4 days until it was strong enough so I could open it up and remove all the sand. That was a pretty satisfying job to do as we emptied it all out. So then once we emptied it all out, we could see that inside it was still quite wet. It takes about a month to completely dry through and for it to work efficiently. We did fire it a couple of times just to test it out, and this in fact was when we decided to fill in the chimney because it was losing too much heat from there. And once we fired it, we did get a few cracks inside, so Sarah had to jump in and fill in those cracks. It's not a big deal, don't worry about cracks, you can fill them in, it's just cob, you just fill it in, it's really forgiving, you can just do what you want basically with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we went ahead and started making pizzas on a weekly basis, and bread. It was awesome.
Whatever we could fit in.
Whatever we could fit. It is pretty good because we managed to fit in about a 20-kilo piglet, which we did when my parents were visiting about a year ago or two. It's a nice sized oven. Very, very happy with it. I mean, it's worn. One of the days in winter last year, we had a storm and it blew off the cover, and it kind of disintegrated a tiny bit, but the inside was still structurally sound and everything, so we just got the same cob that washed off it, remolded it kind of, and put it back on. I do plan to fill in these cracks. I mean, when you have something made out of cob, you have to keep kind of arranging it a bit. As for waterproofing, you can't really put a cement plaster on top or anything because the clay expands with the heat, so whatever you put on the outside, it will expand at a different rate, so it will crack it. So the best way to keep water off it is actually to have a cover over it. You can make a lime wash, kind of a lime plaster rather, and cover it, but still it's not 100% waterproof. And from all the books I've read and all the videos I've seen online, whenever there's cob involved, the best way is to actually cover it with a roof. So we do plan to do that. This is our outdoor kitchen, as some of you may have seen before, that we're kind of slowly building. So this will have a complete cover over everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. On the front here, I just got some shale and just covered it up. These, I filled it in. I built the walls not with cement but with lime. And now this year it really came out more, like all the lichen it's called this, lichen, whatever.
I call it mossy rock.
Moss. So yeah, this year it's really come out a lot because when I was actually building it, a lot of it came off, but it looks alive, hey, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. An awesome, mostly made out of natural materials, apart from all the concrete. The concrete beams, I mean, and the cinder blocks. But that's just our way to create the base, you know? And you don't have to put a metal door like this. I mean, when you're cooking pizza, this is open. We only close this when we're cooking with residual heat, when there isn't a fire inside. But when I went to buy my pizza slice thing and the broom and all that, they had these doors, and I thought I might as well. You can make like a wooden one that fits the hole exactly, and then you'll have to wet it when you're going to close it, because otherwise it'll catch fire. Alrighty, that's pretty much it on this build. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell and the like.
And if you want to see the time I dread the most, at the end of winter, beginning of spring, I'll be covering it in Thursday's video, so
keep an eye out.
So thanks for watching, and
thanks for watching.
Have a great day.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
Have a nice Sunday. we miss anything?
We was
Thousands.
kissing Molly.